Welcome to another edition of Vigorously with me, Val Hands. I think that's beer I smell. I think that's beer I smell because Lindsay Hayes is in the building, content creator who not only loves beer, but enjoys spooky fashion, spooky things, alternative things. That's really why we're kikiing a little bit today. Lindsay, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Val. This is very exciting. I love that we get to talk about not only beer, but other
Yeah,
things just in the
all the
spooky
things.
realm.
All the things. So what is your beer vibe? What are we drinking?
Oh man, I mean, I can get one for you, but I think like we were talking about just like the temperatures dropping right now. Like I would
Yeah,
love just like a nice like brown ale, like something like a little bit darker than our usual like summer vibe.
right.
Are you drinking?
I mean, not at the moment, but just in general, I tend to go for like pilsners,
Yeah.
ambers. Maybe the occasional stout.
Yeah,
Maybe
year
the
round.
occasional stout.
I'm definitely a lager and like a West Coast IPA. Like I like the bitterness, but I also
Yeah,
take something like super crushable and light.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm a seasonal drinker.
We've got like a 24 pack of Oktoberfest in the fridge now, like that
Love.
kind of thing.
You're ahead of the curve. I mean, I don't even think we have anything seasonal yet. And we have a kegerator right here.
We're just excited. We're just excited because this is
Oh, I
definitely our season. It's our favorite season. How do you like to celebrate spooky season?
so I already started off. Oh my gosh, sorry, we do have two dogs in the back.
That's okay. We
I
love
already
dogs.
went to Bath and Body Works yesterday and got all the fall candles and soaps.
Yeah.
I just went to the farmers market. So we have like our because it's still like 90 degrees here in North Carolina. So our spooky season doesn't really kick off to like the end of September.
Mm.
Um, where I'll go like apple picking, pumpkin, harvesting, get some cider. I did pick up some mead today, so I feel like that was a little festive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just getting into it. I mean, I even did like a little thing on Instagram where it's like what season or what month is your season? And of course,
Okay.
October won by far.
It-
So
of course it did. That
yeah,
makes complete
slowly getting
sense.
into it. It's so hot here still that it kind of like delays itself to like October, which is fine.
Right. Well, so for me, I definitely love to celebrate with the occasional seasonal beer. I'll
Yeah.
definitely celebrate with lots of horror movies. Definitely will celebrate with candles. Definitely will celebrate with enjoying Halloween. Halloween's always been my
Mhm.
favorite holiday, only because I feel like it's the one day of the year where we get to do whatever we want or like be
Whatever. You
whoever we
can be
want.
whoever. It's like a nice like cosplay
Right.
excuse.
Right.
We
It's
love
it's
a
a
reason to
little
dress up.
yeah, it's just I don't know, it's therapeutic and you're not judged.
No,
It's nice for a
never.
change.
No, you
Yeah.
can do whatever you want. No, I love that. Like usually like I end up working on Halloween, but we were talking about
Uh
how like we won't have to this year. So
oh.
we're trying to see if we can come up with something fun for like a couple's outfit for the first time in almost 4 years. Hopefully we
I've
do
always
something good.
I've always wanted to do Jay and Silent Bob with my husband because he's tall with really long hair too. And
Yeah.
I think that's an easy costume we could do.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
Do
we
you
need
have
to
any?
brainstorm. We haven't thought of anything yet, but I mean, we're really into like Marvel. We like anything kind of like borderline because I'm not like the nerdiest of nerds, but like I definitely appreciate
Mhm.
his interests. So we kind of want something that's like borderline, not too like confusing for people. Like we want people to be like, that's creative and clever without having to ask a million questions.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. What's your stance on candy corn though?
Not a fan.
Not a
Not a
fan.
fan.
I love it.
No, I know. I'm not a fan. It's the weirdest thing. I feel like I should be. I feel like I should enjoy it. I feel like I should enjoy the colors.
Yeah,
It's not happening. It's
that's
not
cool.
happening. I don't know. They taste like wax to me.
Yeah, that's
It's like
fair.
eating wax.
I don't know why I love them so much, but I'm definitely more like if I'm gonna go like candy, like probably Sour Patch and like the sour crawlers, like more of the sour versus like chocolate. But I like candy corn. I'm proud.
Yeah.
So just curious.
Yeah. Usually I'm like an M&M's or a Reese's or Kit Kat
Okay.
girl. I'm like the
Yeah.
classics. I'll go
Yeah.
traditional when it comes to Halloween candy and what
Oh,
I will buy bags for myself. I don't even care. None of those kids are
oh,
getting nothing. It's all
we don't
me.
have a lot of kids. Ours is like a new neighborhood. We just don't have a lot of kids, but we have it ready to go. And if yeah, whatever is left over, that's fine with
Yep.
us.
It's game on. It's fair game. So I think one of the other things that made me hit follow aside from all that was we just vibed over being elder emo millennials.
Oh my
Please tell
God.
me about the last shows that you've seen because I'm sure you've been to some good ones.
So many. I mean, honestly, I mean, like, I'm sure you can attest to this. Like, concerts are so expensive right now.
Yeah,
So
they
I
are.
feel like I've kind of like taken a step back from just like local shows, which like hurts my heart. But like I'm actually in a mosh pit group in the Carolinas. So it's called Icon Pit Crew. I cower over nothing. So there's like 4,000 of us, and we have like t-shirts. So like I mean, I can go to a show by myself and there's like 50 of us. So it's like really nice. The last
Okay.
one I just did was 30 Seconds to Mars and AFI.
Nice.
I've never seen 30 Seconds to Mars, which is crazy because that's very much
You would
like
think, yeah.
they never went to Warped Tour. They never really tag along on tours. And Davey Havoc, like AFI, December Underground is such a great album for me. Like I would say,
Mm.
I even have a playlist on Spotify that's the best of 2004 to 2007.
Mm-hmm.
That era for me, because I'm 31, so I was in middle school, was like so like just important to me. Like every
Mm-hmm.
album from that era was like just the creme de la creme for me.
Yeah.
Um, so that was a good one. But I mean, I just came back from Tomorrowland, which was like EDM. I'm going to
Yeah.
like Austin City Limits next month, which is like folky rock country. Like I love all genres. But like sadly, the last one I went to was on my birthday, was Beartooth. That was
Oh,
really cool. Went to Asheville.
yeah.
So playing in Asheville on my birthday. So that was really, really great.
Jealous of
Um,
that. I've always wanted to go to Asheville too because I heard it's a vibe. Like I have a
yeah.
brother that lives just outside Charlotte in Rock Hill.
Oh, cool.
And
Yeah.
so kind of like they tell me
Familiar.
about Asheville from once in a while because they like to go. And I've
It,
always wanted to go.
it's great. We're actually getting married there in 2 months. So
Yay!
very good. Great. I mean, obviously a great beer mecca. I mean, there you
Right.
have 80 plus breweries and obviously some of the bigger ones like Sierra Nevada and Highlands and New Belgium. So like it's just like just good vibes. Like during the fall, it's just peaceful and magical.
I'm
Um,
sure.
and we're really excited. But yeah,
Oh,
I mean, concerts, like I've been to like all the big ones. Like I did like Blue Ridge a couple years ago. I've done Welcome to Rockville. I've done like Carolina Rebellion when that used to be a thing. I've done
right. I remember
like
that.
all those fun, like what's the other one? Forget what it was. There was one in like Ohio that they just changed the name to. Now it's Sonic Temple.
Oh yeah,
Rock
it was Rock on the
Range.
Range. Right.
Yeah. So I've done
Right.
all of those, which is so fun. But I mean, Data Remember, favorite band. I've seen them 25 times in like 10
Yes.
different states. So that's like my like favorite. I've just kind of like chilled out a little bit just because of how expensive just like going to like a local show is. Like now it's like resale. Like I Prevail last year, like resale was $150.
Good God. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane. That's
So
insane.
it's tough. I can't like justify it anymore.
No, well, that's the thing, and that's why I'm a lot choosier about who I go to see anymore. Like, it sounds like you have a similar list in your mind too. There's certain
Absolutely.
bands where if they are within 100-mile radius of you, you will go.
Oh,
Like
I will
there, every
100% go. Yeah.
like you had that list of bands that on
Mhm.
that. I think a Day to Remember is probably on that list for you. For
Yeah.
me, it's definitely Mastodon. It's definitely Opeth.
I got to
It's
meet Mastodon. They're really nice guys.
I'm sure I keep hearing that, but I never
They're
have met
so
them.
good.
Like I've seen them, God, 5 times now,
Yeah.
six
Oh, that
times
was,
now.
I guess that might be closer to you. I went to Rock USA in,
Oh, okay.
that's in, oh my gosh, that was in, I guess, Wisconsin, I
Yeah,
think.
there's a
Yeah.
couple. Rockfest is in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We had Northern Invasion, which
Yeah.
was like
One of
another
those.
one.
But yeah, they were doing meet and
Yeah,
greet. I got to meet them and Disturbed because it was a rainy
nice.
day and like nobody was there. And I was like, I'll meet all the fans.
I'll go say hi to
So
David
funny.
Draymond.
Oh,
And I will.
Mastodon was great. They're so good live. I range like I love like hardcore, like metalcore is kind of like my
Mhm.
sweet spot. But then it's like I love like and I love like Def Leppard. Like I love the older ones. Like and I'm
Yeah.
still a sucker for Five Finger Death Punch. Like I am not afraid to admit it. I love like working out to them and just like being in an angry cleaning mood. Like
It's
they just hype me up. I don't know what it is. I mean,
see,
I
that's
also
so
like
funny.
Nickelback, so it's fine.
You know what? I'm glad that people are kind of chilling on the Nickelback hate lately,
I'm
because
over it.
there
Yeah.
was a part of me that was like, okay, I get that they're getting criticism because the
Yeah.
songs might not be Mozart, all right, but are they really that bad? Like, is it
They're
really
not.
that the
They're not.
level of hate? Is it really that deserved?
I
I've
think people
always
just like to just say something, like have an opinion on it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, like they
I've
know
thought
a lot of
about that
songs
too.
sound similar, but it is what it is.
I love cleaning to that. I don't know why, but hip hop is like my cleaning stuff. I'll be like, yeah,
That's a good one.
let me get rid of all these dishes and pump it with Megan Thee Stallion. Like, let me get.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, give me some hype girl shit. I'm so here for that. But I love that you can also
Oh,
listen to like other genres too. Like I'm all over the place. But yeah, if somebody's like, hey, we're gonna go to this metal show, I'm like, let's go.
let's
But make
go.
sure I can pay for it and I don't get a black eye.
But it's how do
We
you avoid the black guys? I'm usually like crowded near the bar somewhere or
Mm,
like in the very back. That's how I avoid it.
yeah, like because the thing is, it's like for me, I've never paid for like smaller show meet and greets or VIP. Like
Mm,
I never do that. So it's like I already missed the chance to be like front row, I guess. But the
mhm.
best thing to do is because I'm already usually on like the outskirt of the pit itself.
Mhm.
Once that pit starts or that wall of death, I just go straight to the middle, top middle. Because
Okay.
then usually you're already like third, fourth row, and then all
Yeah.
you have to do is get a crowd surfer above you. You're like, oh, I can help. And all of a sudden you just start
Oh,
getting forward. So that's
yeah.
usually my trick to do that for shows, to not piss anyone off. Because there's always those people that like their space, but they want to be up front. But they don't want anyone touching them or crowd surfers. I'm like, what are you doing? Um,
It's impossible. It
it's
is
impossible.
impossible to not have some form of physical contact when you're
Right.
packed in to
Yeah.
I'm
You kind
talking
of have to
smaller club
expect
venue.
that. Like if you want to
Yeah.
go to like a bigger venue and just sit in the lawn, like totally cool, get that. We went to REO Speedwagon and Train, packed. Like the lawn was
Really?
like shoulder to shoulder. We weren't even that late. And it just was like crowded. I was like, okay, interesting.
What?
Um, it was like a 6 o'clock show too. It was phenomenal. Just love the different types. And then like, you go to an underground one, starts at like 8:30 and you're there
Right.
until like midnight. You're like, what day is it? Um, yeah, but usually I'm like on the outskirt of the pit because I like to, because with our group, like we even do like certain choruses and during certain songs, we'll do like an all girls pit or we'll do like a kids pit or we'll do
Oh,
like
got it.
certain ones and we'll get on the ground and start rowing or we'll make like a pyramid. We'll do certain things to like make it more interesting. So it's not just like big dudes punching each other the entire time. Um,
Right.
so
Because
that
why do
makes
they
it
get to
more
have all the fun?
engaging. Yeah,
Yeah,
usually the girl pits are pretty intense too. Like I've
they
gotten
can
pretty
be.
beat up from those myself.
Oh my God. Like, and I heard rowing, so I'm assuming a Monomart was somewhere in the mix. Are we
Oh,
rowing at a
oh yeah.
Monomart show? Okay. Like,
Oh yeah.
those, to me, those are the most intense pits I have
Yeah.
seen.
There and we're
Period.
all in like sync and like we plan it to like the T.
Yes.
Like we're on top of it. It's
Right.
very good. It's a
Not
good time.
even not even just the rowing though. I'm talking like just the standard mosh. Like
Oh yeah.
I have seen people taken away in stretchers from a
Oh
Monomarth pits.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't fuck with it. Don't play. That's not the
Yeah.
one to experiment. That's not your first one you want to go into.
If it's
Like,
if it's your first rodeo, like yeah, you kind of have
don't
to go
do
for
it.
it gently, especially like don't have like septum piercings or gauges or like rip like lip rings. They're ripped out. I mean, especially festivals, like I just see bloody faces all the time. And there was a piercing there at one point, I'll tell you that.
Oh God,
Uh,
yeah.
but
I don't know
I'm
what
very
it is.
lucky. I've never had like a bad experience where I was like, I can't do that again.
Yeah, me either. I mean, because I've been able to avoid them, and I purposely avoid them just because it's not my thing. But
Yeah.
something about a Monomart Pits. I don't know what it is with that band, but they have always been the most violent ones that I've ever seen. And I've been to Slayer shows, and
Yeah.
those ones were just they were the ones. But I wanted to ask a little bit about some bridal tea here too, because we're
Okay.
getting
I'm
ready for
down.
that. Yeah,
We're
we're
we're ready. I feel good about it. I'm not stressed right now. We have 2 months, 2 months and 2 days
okay.
to the wedding. So yeah, I mean Asheville prime fall.
Right.
Um, we're brewing our own beer for it, which is really exciting.
Okay.
I mean, we're gonna have fall donuts and cider and all the fall fun activities, fire
Perfect.
pit, marshmallows, blankets, cigar bar. But we're trying to keep it pretty like chill, to be honest. We were
Yeah.
ready to elope. Like we would have been super happy eloping, and saving money and just kind of vibing.
Hmm.
But I'm basically I have a half brother that's 15 years older than me, but I'm my dad's only child. And then
Oh,
Ryan is the last of five to get married and more like traditional Christian household.
Ryan
So
is your
the family's,
fiance?
yes, Ryan is my fiance. He's playing video games in the back.
What? Mine's doing the same. My
I was like,
husband
can
is
you
right
just
over
put your
here.
headphones on, please? Because I was like, you don't want to hear me just talk about
It's
you for an hour. Yeah, we actually I like video games. We're both like ADHD, like very or like,
yeah.
it's confusing, but both diagnosed ADHD. We actually are doing co-op Stardew Valley right now, which is
Oh,
super fun. But we do like co-op games together, but usually I just let him kind of play whatever he wants to do.
yeah.
And then we kind of like unwind and play together at night.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually the one that's like out and about and stuff. But
Oh, got it.
yeah, so like we're really excited. I mean, we have everything put together. I planned it myself because I'm
Yeah.
type A. I just love organizing and planning, and I'm a good communicator, so I'm making phone calls all the time. We'll have a live band, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
That is
Um,
cool.
yeah, I lived in Nashville, Tennessee, so made some really good just like industry connections that way. I used to do merch for a band called Moon Taxi.
Hmm.
They're like alternative rock. And so the keyboard backup vocals, he has his own like wedding band. So they'll be there bringing it down. My dad used to be a drummer too. So trying to get him to get on stage at
Oh,
some point,
okay.
which would be really nice.
Is that where the love of music begins? Is with dad and
Yeah. Oh,
the
yeah. I
drummer?
mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure you could probably relate like back when you were, riding in your minivan going to wherever your parents were going.
Right.
You had on the dash, like you didn't even have the name of the band on the dash. Like you couldn't see what it was. You kind of just, and there was no Shazam. You couldn't just like, oh, like, let me just see what song this is. So he would play a lot of like 70s, 80s music, which of
Hmm.
course, like being younger, I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. But now it's like my favorite, like 80s is like my favorite genre. But he would always be like, okay, you have to guess the artist, the song, and the album.
Oh, I love that
We got
game.
more in depth, like, okay, who are the original people? What year did this album come out? And
Hmm.
like it just got more like questions that way. So yeah, my love for music definitely stems from my dad,
I
for
love
sure.
that game.
My mom was like a hippie protester too. So like they both were just like a great combination. They gave me all their vinyls too. So I have like a great collection. It's
Wow.
phenomenal. But a lot of like classic rock, like not anything too intense.
I'm dying to start a vinyl collection. Like
You should.
when I'm getting a home someday, when I have a little more space, I think
Yeah,
that's when it's gonna happen. Right now we're in an apartment. But
that's
yeah.
tough. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had like a nice setup, but now we adopted a dog 6 months ago, and he's a puppy. He's chaotic. He started like some of them are still in like their plastic wrap, and he would start nibbling on them. I was like, oh no, we need like
No.
those things. So we just have all the vinyls upstairs, just like laying in a row because we don't know what to do with them right now. You should. And then there's this awesome app. It's called Discogs, where you can log all of the ones that you have and you can buy and sell and stuff. Like it's made it so much more fun to like look
Okay.
for ones and see if they're worth anything in the long run, or just remind myself which ones I already have.
Yeah. I saw
Sometimes it's hard to keep up with.
yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, my CD collection is probably like that now. Like
Yeah.
I still have a couple CDs in the other room
Oh,
that I saved
same.
just because I like physical copies from time to time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just do. I still do. But
Yeah. We'll have
you
to
know,
like compare CDs because I have one of those, like, I think they sold them at like Target, but it's like a soda CD case, or it's like
oh
a
yeah,
soda
yeah, yeah.
can and you pop the top and it opens and it's all the CDs. Um,
Oh,
but of course, I have like Black Parade. I have like some of the Fall Out Boy ones. I have like
right.
30 Seconds to Mars. Like I have all those just like classic ones that I like loved on my little Discman, my little Walkman. Mine was hot
Oh,
pink. I mean, I was like, everything was black or pink, and it still pretty much is. So
that is the vibe.
it's
That is
still
the
my
elder
aesthetic. It always will
mil-
be.
that is the elder millennial emo vibe. Black and pink
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I did for
So
my bachelorette party. We had like to like death do us part, and it's like the skeleton middle finger, and mine were
yeah,
black and pink, and they had like different colors. So that was cool.
those are so and it's looked like you had fun at the Bachelorette on Instagram.
It was
Like,
fun. Yeah, I booked the Love is Blind Charlotte
oh my
mansion
God,
from
yes.
episode 8 because a lot of my friends aren't from here. So I was like, I mean, one, it's a great house. Two, the price didn't skyrocket after that aired. And three, I was like, my friends are gonna think this is cool. Like I didn't really care. I was like, I was drinking a couple of mimosas with friends, and I was like, yeah, let's get this one. Fuck it, whatever. It was the perfect vibe. I mean, we had a hot tub, pool, 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. 5
Perfect.
bathrooms was clutch for
You-
that many people. It was
yeah.
great. It was chill. We had no really like big activities planned besides like having the boat, and we had the hibachi come out. Everything else was kind of like, you know what? Choose your own adventure. If you want to go by the pool, you want to go watch a movie in your room and get some alone time, do you? Just
Yeah.
love me a little bit.
Just say
Like,
hello and
just
once in a
say
while.
hi, give me a hug, maybe. Like, that's all I ask for. I just need attention and affection.
I love it. Well, so how did your social media journey begin though? Because day to day, you're a social media manager.
Yeah, yeah. I still, God, it's so weird. Like I didn't create my account to be an influencer. That wasn't ever like my plan.
Mhm.
I made a Hoppy Haze to get a job in beer in Charlotte because I was living
Oh,
in Nashville, and I had visited Charlotte like a couple times. Like I used to go to Carolina Rebellion. The Renaissance Festival is really fun here. So I was visiting Charlotte already a couple times a year. And I was like, okay, I'll just send some emails to like gauge if people are hiring, which the beer scene here was pretty new in 2018, 2019, which is crazy because that's just wild because now beer is like just skyrocketed.
everywhere.
So I would send emails out. They're like, no, we're not hiring. We're not hiring. Like nobody would give me a shot. And I was like,
Mm.
I literally already have 2.5 years of beer experience. Like I've already been a bartender for 2.5 years. Like nobody's even
Oh,
giving me
okay.
a chance. I was like, this is weird. Um, I was working in healthcare, and my boss was like, you should start like one of those like Instagrams, like with like, beer. Cause I mean, he was like like at the time, a 55-year-old gay guy. And he was like, you should start
Yes.
them. Like, I see all these pretty girls like holding up beers. He's like, you should do that. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Like, I do have a lot of good beer at the house. Like, I was trading beers. Like, I was paying good money. I was like, I might as well share it with the world, I guess.
Yeah.
And in 2018, early 2019, the algorithm was phenomenal and
Right.
went from like I think I just naturally had like 2,500 followers or like 3K, went to like 10K in like a month and a half.
Wow.
And it was just pictures. Reels weren't a thing. Like it was just static
Yeah.
photos. Like, and it just was being shared on these craft beer pages. Like I had at one point when I moved here, I got like red hair and like it was like hot gingers. Like it was like so interesting. Um, and then I started just reaching out to breweries on my Instagram instead. And I got 8 interviews.
Wow.
I went from 0 to 8 from
Okay.
just having my Instagram account. So I was like, okay, there's something here. So kind of just played along with it. I never really, I mean, I still like, I love it. I don't treat it as like a business. I kind of just have fun and do whatever I post, whatever I want.
Mhm.
Um, Kind of just been like chilling on the beer recently just because of the wedding. I don't want to drink too much. I want to look good. But yeah, just have fun like engaging with other beer lovers and enjoying it. And then from that, like I've worked in beer for 9 years. So when 2020 happened, I was working for a brewery here in Charlotte. And they were like, okay, like everyone's getting laid off. But you and the GM are the only two staying. So I got
Mm.
my forklift certification. I got a certification to deliver beer. And I was like, they were like, you need to be like our marketing manager for this location because we had 4 locations all around North Carolina. And I
Okay.
was like, okay, sure. Like, and I'm very like stress driven, very like time crunch driven. Like I love a good competition. So competing against our other locations for sales, just kind of like really, and I had nothing else going on. I mean, I could walk home and drink. So like I could just do that at work. So just creating like social media that was funny and engaging and made it more lighthearted during such a tough time for everyone.
Mm.
Kind of just like unleashed this like new creative side of me that I didn't know I had. And
Yeah.
then I was like, you know what? I want to help other small businesses kind of help with their social media, like come back from such a trying time. So I was doing more like small projects or consulting, or just going in, taking like 100 photos and sending them to them, like literally just for free at first. Cause I was like, I have a DSLR. I can take pictures for you. I don't want your business to fail. And then once people got, back on their feet, I was like, okay, I could do this part time. I don't have to charge a lot because I can just give them what they need. It doesn't have to be a full-time commitment or full-time pay. So like in 2022, I did freelance full-time. I had up to 8 clients at once and it was just part-time. So I was able to plan out my week and be like, okay, like these are close together. Go there, get content. I mean, now it's like with Reels, it's a little bit more tricky. So I don't have as many clients because that just it's so time consuming.
Yeah.
Um, but like my DSLR, it has Wi-Fi, so it goes straight to my phone. I have editing software that I just edit pretty quickly at this point, and can get the photos and videos that I want. So I still manage at the brewery that I've been at for 4 years, do social media, and then I do dog walking on the side just to kind of get outside and clear my head a little bit because this year has been very overwhelming and a little traumatic for us. So it helps me kind of just like get back to grounding myself and just breathe a little bit.
Yeah. We love a
A
self-work
lot.
week. We
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot, but like I make do. Like I just get really bored and I like to travel when I can. And the flexibility of my schedule is really nice though.
Yeah. So it wasn't your intention necessarily to be a social
No.
media manager. It's just
It
something you fell
fell.
into, and
It
then
fell
for
in,
that,
yeah.
right. So and for that to pop off, it sounded like they really just wanted to look at your work,
Yeah.
aka your portfolio, aka what
Mhm.
you were already doing on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
really
And I
where it
just
came.
did we have a Charlotte Independent Brewers Alliance. It's kind of like a lot of the brewery owners and brewers kind of get together once a month and kind of see like, okay, like what's everyone doing? How can we help? So I did a social media panel last Monday with two other just stellar humans. And we were there for hours. Like usually the panels last like, it's very like quick and easy. But a lot of the owners were like, no, I have more questions. I want to know about social media and like the
Mm,
trends because it's kind of chaotic. The
yeah.
algorithm's insane. Everything changes every day. But that was really cool to be a part of that and to help other business owners kind of like gauge like what is working, why do you pick a static post over a reel, and like what does that mean, or like what times a day do you
Mm,
post, or like what's working, like versus graphics versus a smiling face, the engagement. So it is fun. Like, of course we have imposter syndrome. Like there's days where I'm like, I'm not trained to do this. I just learn how to
yeah.
do it. I mean, like being pretty much an only child, I've kind of had to teach myself how to do everything in life on my own.
Mhm.
I'm very like independent as is. So that's just kind of how I am. Like I'm very curious. I love learning. And kind of just figured it out as I go. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of fell into my lap and I'm just rolling with it, honestly. I
That's the
could
way to
say
do it.
they don't know what I'm doing, but I just have fun doing it.
Yeah, that's what matters. The spaghetti on the wall method is a method. It works.
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually my method 9 times out of 10 as well.
Yeah.
So when you're giving these brands advice, when they're coming to you
Mhm.
looking for tips, typically today's social media climate, modern day, what general advice would you offer somebody looking to up their game on social media?
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Like, I mean, I've had even just like with interviews, like I don't mind giving like a consultation or like giving advice during an interview, even if they don't hire me. Cause like at the end of the day, like I just want everyone to thrive, whether you have 2 followers or a million. Like it's really not a competition. Like everyone can kind of thrive in their own realm. Like people don't have to follow 3 people. They can follow 100 people. So
Hmm.
I don't see like online competition to be like really a thing. You can kind of just have your own, they need to have their own unique voice and personality. That's why like, I think reels are really fun. Like I know they're kind of a pain in the ass sometimes if they're, like some people don't like being on camera or people don't think they're funny or they don't look good. But I think that's the best way for like, especially like a brewery or any small business, to create like organic, like new followers is like having those creative, silly reels. And you
Hmm.
don't have to dance and sing and do the whole bit, but I mean, I love looking at them. Like that's the easiest follow for me, like is seeing a brewery Like one of them I saw, and the owner's like on the computer. He's like working to reach my final goal in life, and he looks over and it says death. Like fucking hysterical. I was like,
Yeah,
this is stuff that I relate with because
that's my
it's like,
sense
oh,
of
you
humor
think he's
too.
working, that it's going to be like a catchy little ending, like working to be the best brewery and whatever. And he just looks over and it just says death. Like
Yeah.
it's just, if that's your tone, if that's your audience, like just go with it, because obviously you need to be careful. Like don't be dumb and do anything it's gonna be upsetting for your
Yeah, don't
audience.
be
Like,
insensitive.
yeah, like you need to be professional about it. But I think just having your own individual, like just personality, I think like sets people apart for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that comes with authenticity too, I think. It just
Right. Great. Yeah.
showing
Great.
whatever your vibe is, showing whatever your sense of humor is, just even in
Absolutely.
situations like you're describing with that reel that did caught on and it made both
I
of
have to
us
send
laugh.
it to you. It's so funny.
Would you tell anybody to start their content creation journey today? Would you tell people to still get into it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I absolutely, like it's not like too late. Also, it's never too late to start your dream. I tell myself that and I never do it. So, but I'll tell other people it's never too late to start your dream. Like, oh, like I'll do a podcast, I'll do a YouTube channel. Like, I just don't know what that looks like yet. But honestly, like there's been a lot of talk about a lot of accounts that kind of have flatlined, kind of like mine, like it hasn't grown
Yeah.
or anything, that people have started over from scratch. Obviously, they tell their following that they're doing that, so they get a lot of good followers from that. But if you're starting like organic reels from the very beginning, typically like they end up doing better
Hmm.
because a lot of like, because it's really about, unfortunately, like ratios. So like say you have 1,000 followers and one of your new, like your brand new reel goes viral, that's a better thing than me having 20K and my reel's only getting 5,000 views, right? So
Mm.
like having 1,000 followers, having 3,000 followers is actually ideal right now, because if you have a smaller following and one of your videos does really well, your chance of getting any like opportunities, paid partnerships and stuff like that is higher than with me having 20K and getting 10,000 views on a video.
Okay, so they're really
Yeah.
looking at the reach and assessing
Yep.
the analytics behind
Yeah.
what's
Depending
happening.
on how much you have. So like small content creators are actually like where it's at right now.
Okay, noted. And what's
Yeah.
next for you? What can we look forward to coming from you?
Gosh. I mean, I ask myself that all the time. One, getting through this wedding first and foremost.
Right.
Gotta get through that. I mean, I've been wanting to do kind of just like either like a painting hobby or like kind of just having like a side niche, because like beer is great, but like there's so much to me. Like I made a list of all my interests the other day and I had like 15 to 20 different like interests.
Yeah.
Like I love antiquing. I love like collecting vinyls. I love like juicing, like random stuff. Like I went to the farmer's market and just like I was talking to, it was like a gem like crystal shop. And I was talking to them about like going to Arizona for the show in January. Like I just have so many different interests that I kind of need to like, I kind of want to figure out which ones make the most sense for me to continue. Um, but I want to stick with beer. I just kind of want to have another like main niche,
Mhm.
because a lot of people aren't drinking anymore, and that's totally okay. And I don't want people to feel triggered by my page. I want them to feel safe and included.
Mhm.
So I kind of want to have something to kind of match that like love for beer as well. And being a millennial, growing up and being in 2024 and having millennial interests and being a
Yep.
30-year-old woman and still like attracting like younger audiences versus older audience, because I have an
Mm.
old soul. So trying to figure out what that looks like for me. But honestly, like after the wedding, next year is gonna be like we're just gonna eat ramen and not buy things and hopefully save some money.
No, I feel you on that. We're in
That's
that.
true
We're
fashion.
it's the typical millennial debt. Like
It is.
we all have it, and
Yeah.
it's ridiculous amount. We're trying to work on
Yeah.
that too ourselves. Like I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I feel you on the wedding thing too. The hardest thing about my wedding when I got married was the seating chart. That was where the most commotion was over everything. More so from other people. Other people had a problem
For
with it. We were
sure. They're
fine.
gonna have opinions. Our venue, our like wedding, not even our wedding coordinator, like the venue coordinator, she loves doing seating charts, which when I heard that, I was like, thank
Do it,
God. Cause
please, for me.
and we don't have like a lot of like drama or anything, but like I travel literally, I guess I can say this. I travel the world for music festivals with a group about 20 people. So I need a long table for all like 25 of them because of like, you know, plus ones and stuff. Cause that's always like the focal point. We've done 2 other weddings because we're called the Butts. Like we were brand ambassadors and just became that name. We're just the Butts. And every wedding we've had a table of like 25 people. So that was kind of just, that's kind of like my priority to make sure they all are sitting together. Cause if not, they're going to just throw stuff across the tables from each other and
Yeah.
it's going to be
just
distracting. I'm already a very distracted individual. So I don't need another distraction.
No, I
But
feel you on
she
that.
said she's gonna figure it out. And I'm like, okay, great. But yeah, I mean, just with like burnout and exhaustion and anxiety and depression and like everything that this year has brought
Yeah.
me, I'm like, we just want to have a chill winter because my birthday's in January. So after the holidays, it's like just one after another.
I know.
So the next year, just kind of just chill, kind of regroup, take a step back, evaluate what means the most to me in life and see where that takes me.
Let's go. I can't wait to
Yeah.
watch. Lindsay, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
so much. I could talk to you for hours. Let
I
me
would-
know when you want me back.
Yeah, anytime.